The Christmas party was in full swing when I arrived at my parents' house. The place was decorated like a department store display. 12-foot tree dripping with ornaments, garlands on every surface, enough twinkling lights to be seen from space. Mia. Finally. Mom swept me into a hug that smelled like champagne and expensive perfume. Everyone's been asking about you. Everyone being my brother Connor with his wife Stephanie, Aunt Patricia and Uncle Dale, various cousins, and about 30 of my parents' country club friends. Sorry I'm late. Had to finish some work. On Christmas Eve? Connor appeared with a drink in hand. Still married to that job, I see. Someone has to work for a living. Some of us have actual careers, Stephanie said, flashing her tennis bracelet. Not just corporate drone positions. I smiled tightly. How's the real estate market? Booming. Connor just closed a $2 million listing. That's great. Dad's voice boomed across the room. There's my little CPA. Come here, sweetheart. I made my way through the crowd to where Dad held court by the fireplace, surrounded by his golf buddies. Mia works for one of those big accounting firms, he was saying. Makes decent money, lives in a nice little apartment downtown. Little being the operative word his tone implied. Dad. We're so proud of both our kids, Mom chimed in, appearing with a tray of champagne flutes. Connor with his real estate empire, and Mia with her stable job and her independence. The way she said independence made it sound like a consolation prize. Dinner was served at 8, prime rib, lobster tails, all the trimmings. I counted at least $3,000 worth of food for 50 guests. This is incredible, Linda, Aunt Patricia said. You've outdone yourself. Well, we only do Christmas once a year, Mom said. Might as well make it special. Halfway through the meal, Dad stood up and tapped his wine glass. I want to make a toast. To family, to success, to another wonderful year. He paused. And to announce some exciting news. Your mother and I are buying a vacation home in Cabo. The room erupted in congratulations. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom villa right on the beach, Mom gushed. We close in January. How much? Someone asked. $1.8 million, Dad said proudly. We're paying cash. I nearly choked on my wine. After dinner, Dad pulled me aside into his study where Connor was already waiting. Shut the door, Dad said. I did, feeling my stomach tighten. We need to talk about something important, Dad began, settling into his leather chair. The Cabo house. Congratulations on that. We're a little short on the purchase price, he interrupted. About $400,000 short, actually. You just said you were paying cash. We will be. Once we get the full amount together. He looked at Connor, then me. We need both of you to contribute. Contribute to your vacation home? It's a family investment, Connor said. We'll all use it. Holidays, summer vacations. I'm contributing $150,000, Connor continued. Stephanie and I are taking out a home equity line, but it's worth it for a property we'll enjoy for years. Dad turned to me. We need $250,000 from you, Mia. I stared at him. You want me to give you $250,000? Not give, invest. You'll have access to the house whenever you want. Dad, I don't have $250,000 sitting around. Don't lie to us, he said sharply. You're 36 years old, you've been working for 15 years, you live in a small apartment and drive a 10-year-old Subaru. Where's all your money going? Savings, retirement, investments. Then liquidate something. This is important. You want me to liquidate my retirement accounts to buy you a vacation home? For the family, Mom corrected, appearing in the doorway. We're asking you to invest in family memories. This is insane. Connor stood up. What's insane is you being selfish. Stephanie and I are making sacrifices. You're taking out a loan. You want me to drain my savings. Because you can afford it. Dad's voice rose. You don't have kids, you don't have a spouse, you don't have a mortgage. What are you saving for? My future. Your future is family, Mom said. And right now your family needs you to step up. I looked at their expectant faces, Dad's reddening with anger, Mom's trembling with tears, Connor's twisted with smugness. I need to think about it. There's nothing to think about. Dad slammed his hand on the desk. We need that money by January 15th or we lose the property. Then maybe you shouldn't have made an offer you can't afford. How dare you? His voice went cold. After everything we've done for you. We paid for your college. With loans that I paid back. We gave you a place to live until you were 25. And charged me rent the last 3 years. We clothed you, fed you, raised you. Mom was crying now. And this is how you repay us. By refusing to help when we need you. I'll think about it, I repeated. You'll do more than think, Dad said. You'll go to your bank first thing after Christmas and transfer $250,000 to our account. That's final. And if I don't? The room went silent. Then you're not family anymore, he said quietly. Simple as that. I left the study and went straight to the bathroom, hands shaking. I pulled out my phone and texted, "Emergency. Need you at my parents' house tomorrow morning. Bring everything." The response came immediately. Consider it done. 10 a.m. Perfect. I returned to the party with a smile plastered on my face, made small talk and left at 11 claiming an early morning. Mom cornered me at the door. You'll do the right thing, won't you, sweetheart? I'll handle it tomorrow. Good girl. I knew we could count on you. Christmas morning I arrived at my parents' house at 9:55 a.m. They were surprised to see me. Mia. We weren't expecting you until dinner. I brought someone to discuss the financial matter. A sleek black Mercedes pulled up behind my Subaru. A woman in her 50s emerged carrying a leather briefcase, followed by a younger man with a tablet. Who is that? Dad asked. Catherine Walsh, my private wealth manager. And her associate, David Chin. Catherine extended her hand to my father. Mr. Thompson. Pleasure to meet you. I'm the Senior Vice President of Private Wealth Management at Sterling Financial Group. Private wealth management? Mom looked confused. Perhaps we could speak inside? Catherine suggested. We settled in the living room. My family on one side, Catherine and David on the other, me in the middle. I understand there's been a request for Mia to contribute $250,000 toward a property purchase, Catherine began. That's right, Dad said. It's a family investment. Before we discuss that, I think it's important that Mia's family understands her complete financial picture. Catherine nodded to David, who opened his tablet. Why would we need to? Connor started. Because you're asking her to liquidate assets without understanding what those assets are or what liquidating them would mean for her financial future. Catherine pulled out a folder. Mia became my client 8 years ago when she received a $100,000 inheritance from her maternal grandmother. Mom flinched. That was supposed to be split between both kids. It was left specifically to Mia in your mother's will, Catherine said firmly. And Mia used it as seed capital for an investment portfolio that has grown substantially. How substantially? Dad asked. David turned his tablet around. Current portfolio value, $8.7 million. The room went silent. That's... Connor's face went pale. That's impossible. It's very possible with disciplined investing over 15 years, Catherine said. Mia's annual salary is $195,000 as a senior tax consultant. But she's also been investing aggressively in index funds, real estate and private equity. Real estate. Mom whispered. Mia owns 4 rental properties in the Seattle metro area, David continued. Combined value, $3.2 million with $1.1 million in outstanding mortgages. Net equity, $2.1 million. Annual rental income, $156,000. She also owns a 15% stake in a commercial office building downtown through a limited partnership, Catherine added. That generates approximately $80,000 annually in passive income. Dad stood up, his face flushed. Why didn't you tell us you had millions of dollars? You never asked. You saw the apartment and the car and assumed I was barely getting by. But you drive a Subaru. Mom said. A paid-off Subaru that's reliable and fuel-efficient. Why would I need anything else? Your apartment is a 900-square-foot condo I bought for $280,000 7 years ago. It's now worth $520,000, completely paid off. I live there because it's all the space I need. Connor found his voice. So you've been sitting on nearly $9 million while letting us think you were struggling? I never said I was struggling. You assumed that. This changes everything, Dad said, a smile spreading across his face. With $8.7 million, You can easily afford $250,000 for the Cabo house. Actually, that's why I asked Catherine to come, I interrupted. I wanted her to explain why I won't be giving you any money. Dad's smile vanished. What? Catherine opened another folder. 3 weeks ago, Mia asked me to conduct a forensic financial audit of her family's requests for money over the past 10 years. A what? Mom asked faintly. An audit. Because Mia has been tracking every financial request from family members since she started her first job. Catherine pulled out a spreadsheet. Would you like to see the results? This is ridiculous, Connor started. In the past 10 years, Catherine continued, Mia has given or loaned her family $287,000. The number hung in the air. That's not accurate, Dad said weakly. David pulled up a document on his tablet. It's meticulously documented. $50,000 for Connor's business startup in 2019 never repaid. $35,000 for your kitchen renovation in 2020, labeled as a family contribution. $40,000 in various emergency loans that were never paid back. $28,000 for Connor's wedding. $15,000 for a car repair that turned out to be a down payment on a new car. The list goes on. We were going to pay you back, Mom said. None of these were structured as loans, Catherine said. No promissory notes, no repayment terms, no interest agreements. They were presented as family obligations. Because that's what family does. Dad said. Family helps each other. Does Connor help Mia? Catherine asked. According to these records, he's never given or loaned her a single dollar. I don't need his help, I started. But he needs yours apparently, David said. Multiple requests per year, ranging from $2,000 to $50,000. Connor's face was bright red. And there's something else, Catherine said, her voice cooling. In the past 3 months, someone has been attempting to access Mia's financial information. What? I sat up straight. 4 separate attempts to pull your credit report using your social security number. 2 attempts to access your bank accounts through password resets. 1 attempt to add an authorized user to your investment account. Who? I demanded. David pulled up a report. The IP addresses trace back to 2 locations, this house and Connor's residence. Mom's hand went to her mouth. That's identity theft, Catherine said flatly. Federal crime. We weren't stealing. Dad said. We just wanted to know what she had. So you could demand more, Catherine finished. Which brings us to this current request for $250,000. She pulled out another document. I did some research on your Cabo property. The asking price is $1.8 million. But you didn't offer $1.8 million, did you, Mr. Thompson? Dad said nothing. You offered $2.2 million. $400,000 over asking to beat out other buyers. You created a financial obligation you couldn't meet, assuming you could pressure Mia into funding it. That's not we thought, Mom stammered. You thought you could manipulate your daughter into funding your luxury purchase by threatening to disown her. Catherine's voice was ice. That's financial coercion. Now wait just a minute, Dad started to stand. Sit down, Mr. Thompson. Catherine's voice could have cut glass. We're not finished. He pulled out a thick document. This is a forensic financial analysis of your household finances. Mia asked me to prepare it because she suspected you were living beyond your means. You investigated us? Connor looked at me with betrayal. I protected myself. There's a difference. Catherine opened the report. Combined household income for you and your wife. $180,000 annually. Connor's real estate income. Approximately $120,000 annually. Yet your family's spending patterns suggest you're living like you make $500,000. We have savings, Dad protested. You have $23,000 in savings and $340,000 in debt. Your house has a $480,000 mortgage despite you buying it 20 years ago. You've refinanced 4 times to pull out equity. Your credit cards carry a combined balance of $85,000. You lease 2 luxury cars at $2,400 per month total. Your country club dues are $18,000 annually. Mom was crying silently now. Connor's finances are similarly concerning, David added. $280,000 in debt between his mortgage, car loans, and credit cards. The $150,000 he promised you for Cabo? That would push his home equity line to its maximum limit. You're financially drowning, Catherine said bluntly. And instead of cutting expenses, you're trying to drag Mia down with you. She's our daughter. Dad roared. She's supposed to help us. She's given you $300,000 in 10 years. How much more? Everything. She has $8.7 million. We raised her, we deserve it. You deserve nothing, I said. Everyone looked at me. You didn't earn my money. I did. I saved, I worked, I invested. You wasted yours. Mom reached for me. No. I'm done. I'm not your aita anymore. We're your parents. Dad shouted. Then act like it. Parents don't steal from their kids or demand money. Connor asked, so you're cutting us off? I'm setting boundaries. Catherine pulled out a paper. This is a cease and desist. No more asking Mia for money or it's harassment. Mom cried, you're suing your family? I'm protecting myself. Catherine showed another envelope. This is proof of identity theft. Mia could press charges. Jail time is possible. Connor whispered, Jesus. But Mia won't press charges if you agree to 3 rules. No more money requests. No contact about finances. Financial counseling with proof. And if we refuse? Connor asked. I go to the police, I said. Silence. Then Dad muttered, we'll do the counseling. Good. You have 1 week to schedule it. I turned to leave. Merry Christmas. Hope the Cabo house was worth it. 6 months later. I was in a cafe checking statements. Connor walked in. He looked older, tired. Can I sit? He asked. He spoke quickly. We've been in counseling 6 months. We're downsizing. Sold cars. Paid debts. Good, I said. It's humiliating but necessary. He stared at his coffee. The counselor asked me why I thought I deserved your money. I said, because I'm her brother. But when she asked what I'd done for you, I had nothing. Not one thing in 38 years. No, you haven't. Why did you give us money? I hoped you'd love me for me. Not for my bank account. But we never did. No. He sighed. Mom and Dad are struggling. They may sell the house. Maybe that's best. He admitted, I tried to access your accounts. Me and Dad. We wanted to see how much you had. It was insane. It was, I said. Can you forgive me? I don't know. Can you change? I'm trying. Budgeting, therapy. I want to be better, for my kids too. I thought, then said, we'll meet once a month. Just coffee. Just siblings. But if you ask for money, it's over. I understand. I won't. Before leaving, he said, I'm proud of you. You built all this alone. I did. That makes it even more amazing. After he left, my phone buzzed. Catherine, review next week? Net worth is now $9 million. Me, perfect. Thanks. Some things mattered more than money. Peace, boundaries, and a future. Family had to earn their place. Maybe with time they could. Maybe.